how many of you are actively stretching your fascia? How many of you even know what that is? Check out this video, I'm going to talk all about that.
Let's go.
Hi, welcome. I'm Coach Tonya with Critical Bench, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you 5 myofascial release exercises that will help reduce sore, tight muscles. Now, 2 questions. How many of you are actively stretching your fascia? And 2, how many of you know what your fascia is? So very quickly, in a nutshell, because we do have lots of videos on the channel that talk about and explain what fascia is in greater detail, I'm going to give you just the Cliff Notes version. So I want you to visualize a spider web, like a thicker spider web, but it's pulled and stretched so you can see through it. And think of that webbing basically covering every single organ, muscle fiber in your body. So it covers everything. So if this is a muscle, and I've stretched that muscle, but I haven't really done a whole lot to stretch this fascia over top. Can you see how, exercising and moving that muscle with this covering or layering being tight and not stretched can cause some issues? So it's really important to do things to actively stretch that fascia. Now you can do these pre-workout, post-workout. However, I really do want to emphasize that even if you don't work out, which you should be. But if you don't and you do a lot of sitting or you're very sedentary, it is very important to do these types of movements and stretch that fascia, because sitting and being sedentary, that fascia just gets tighter and tighter, and kind of think of it like shrink wrap, okay? So this is where when we do start to move or get up and walk around, we can get really unnecessary injuries, strains, and all kinds of stuff that we don't need to have. So how do you stretch fascia? Because really, when you're exercising, it should be stretching it, right? Well, yes, but there are some things we can do to really focus on that fascia and really give it a good stretch. So maybe at home you have things that look like this, or maybe you see them in the gym and you're not sure what they are, what you do with them. So here are different accessories that you can use to really stretch your fascia. So clearly foam roller, I think foam roller, a lot of us are very familiar with that. This is the same idea, but it's got these bumps on it. So that just gives you a little more pinpointed, like pressure point, active stretching. This one's really cool. Now it has been left unplugged, so it's not charged up, but this one actually, when you turn it on, it kind of shakes and vibrates. So that's kind of cool. Just a little more motion and movement there. This we call the peanut. Okay, and if you can see, there's that dip here. So this is really great as far as rolling up and down your spine, okay, or around your neck. Now, having said that though, sometimes some of these accessories, when you do go to use them, you might feel twinges or aches. If anything hurts, stop. But if it's just like, ow, that's really, I can feel that, you probably really need to stretch that area and keep working on it. So it's very important that you have excellent body awareness and you know the difference between pain and hurting and therefore stopping versus stretching something that's maybe been inactive for a period of time, okay? So the peanut is another, this is also great. I mean, you can use these anywhere, but I particularly like this one for my neck because I do get very tight up in here. This is just, I don't even know what this is called, but yeah. This is great along the IT band, actually. This is another great stretching accessory that you may see, you may have, not sure what to do with it, but just rolling this up and down in nice long strokes is going to help stretch out fascia and get some knots out. Now, if all else fails, if all you have is a tennis ball, you can still in a very good way stretch your fascia. And if you're not sure, I always say to people, check the kids' toy box. Do you have pets? Check your pet's toy box, because somewhere you probably have a tennis ball. Now, obviously, I'm very lucky. I work at a facility where I have access to a gym and all kinds of equipment and all of these things. So I actually have, this is considered a fascia stretching ball. It's just a very thick, dense rubber ball. Bounces great outside. Don't tell my boss I said that though. But this is actually made for doing certain stretches and stretching out your fascia. What I'm going to do is basically I'm going to work with the did I say that? The foam roller and the tennis ball and the fascia ball to show you 5 really great stretches that you can do to relieve sore, tight muscles, because I figure these are, of all of this stuff, these are probably the 3 things that most of you will either have or have access to. So we're going to get started. I'm going to move this chair out of the way here. though, and some of these other things. Okay, everything's out of the way. Now, if you really like the stretches that I'm going to show you, I want you to check out that pinned comment below. This is a free report that I want to give you right away. It is called Why Stretching Won't Make You Flexible. There is some great information in there that everybody needs to be aware of, because a lot of us are doing stretching techniques or think we're doing stretching techniques that are helping us, but they're actually not. They're causing us more harm than good. So if you click on that pinned comment and enter your email, I'm going to send you that free gift right away. So you definitely want to check that out. So I'm going to show you two stretching movements that I do for glutes. When I work out in the gym, especially like on my lower body days, I like the big lifts. I like doing things like squats and deadlifts, leg press. So I tend to be quite tight in my lower body. So I do a lot of foam rolling and using the ball to get more active stretch, like get a much better stretch out that fascia along my glutes. So the first one, using your foam roller. So get your glutes on it. Okay, you're going to have to brace yourself or balance yourself by leaning back a bit. Assume the figure 4 position. Most of you know what this is. And just roll along your glute muscle. And it's, you want to like shift position a little bit too. But roll that out. Ouch. That was a good ouch, by the way. But I can tell, because I did legs yesterday, I'm a little sore. Okay. So you want to spend a couple minutes, maybe like 2-3 minutes, rolling one side, and then you want to switch. Now I'm always really tight, just even if you notice here to here. What side is tighter? Yeah, and stretching those glutes out again. Ouch. You want to spend a couple minutes on that. Now you can do those as many times per side as you want, which is probably largely influenced by, are you doing this in your office, you're taking a break, are you at the gym and you have a workout to do, so this is part of your warm-up. That's up to you, but definitely do these regularly and do them as often as needed, okay? So that's the first myofascial stretch I want to show you for glutes. The second one, I'm just going to grab the tennis ball. Okay, I've got both the tennis ball and the fascia ball. I'm going to show you with the tennis ball. Now, clearly, look at surface area. Glutes have a lot more to be in contact with on the foam roller, okay? So as much as I felt that, I'm going to feel it a lot more using the ball, because this is now going to be focused on a much smaller area with my full body weight on it. So as you can imagine, it's almost like comparing a relaxing, or not necessarily relaxing, but a lighter massage to deep tissue, okay? And if you really felt that, and you do that for a few minutes each side, and you do that 3 or 4 times each side, and you're feeling good, great, okay? If you need a little more, again, and basically you just roll it around on your glute. Ouch. And you might find that you have like an area where you're really kind of feeling that tightness. Spend a little more time working on that area, working that out, okay? But hit the entire glute, because again, we're really talking about fascia and it covers everything. So we want to make sure that that is getting stretched just as much as our muscle is. Okay. Now I'm going to switch. I'm just doing these quickly to give you an idea, but you definitely want to spend at least a good minute per side, if not a little bit more. Now this side is it's going to hurt a lot more. Ouch. Stretch. Now you can do the same, what I'm doing here, just with the foam roller, and not doing the figure 4 position with your legs. You can just sit on that foam roller and roll back and forth, twisting side to side to hit the entire glute area. Okay. And okay, so 2 great myofascial release techniques for your glutes. Moving along to the upper back, I'm going to grab the foam roller here. Actually, no, you know what? I changed my mind. I'm going to use the ball for this one. Again, I'm going to use the tennis ball. Think about it this way. When you are doing certain lifts and exercises, Your hand position can more specifically target different muscle groups in that area. So for instance, if you're doing squats, you might be doing a traditional toes pointed forward, feet shoulder width apart. Maybe your sumo, so legs are further apart, toes are pointed outward. You're still working that area of muscle group, but it kind of focuses a little more intently on more specific muscles in that area. Same thing goes with the myofascial release exercises, okay? You know, doing a figure 4 targets a little deeper muscles, and what I'm going to show you with the upper back is that I'm going to be moving my arm around, because moving my arm around also helps this ball hit muscle areas that I really want it to hit to loosen and stretch that fascia. So the ball is on the floor, and I'm going to get it sort of like right. It's kind of it's between like my spine and my scapula there, and I'm just gonna roll around on it. Now, you can also just, if you're really tight, just laying here and breathing. Ow! It's doing something, okay? Now my arm's out at 90 degrees. If I take that, I should have thought this through. Move it up. Clearly, I have a lot of tightness in here that I've neglected. And I'm actually not going to roll. I'm just going to let that do its thing. I'm going to let that release. Okay, if I move my arm down, that's not as bad. Now if I switch ball position here, a little more closer up to my shoulder area, same thing. As soon as I bring that ball up, I'm very tight in here, and I'm just going to lay on that tennis ball and let that release. Okay, let's just see how bad the other side is. Flip around here. Whoops, did I lose my mic pack? I did. Actually, that's okay, because it's getting in the way. All right, let's put this on. Ooh, okay. Okay, not as bad on this side. How about that? But if I roll out, now when I bring my arm out like this, yeah, ow. There, so I'm just gonna start right there. And breathe. Do not hold your breath when you're stretching. You need to pull that oxygen into your body and all of those places, and it will start to release. Everything works together. Ow. I don't know if you can hear the roosters, but they're out there again. Okay, so that's a great stretch for the upper back using the ball. And again, you can grab the foam roller, you can grab the peanut. These are just ones that I really like, they're pretty much the ones that are standard that I do. So that's why I'm sharing them with you today. Lower back. This one I am going to grab the roller. I will say that if you do have lower back pain and lower back issues, start with the foam roller, see how you feel using it. If it causes you pain, I'm going to remind you again, you really need to know the difference between what's pain and what's just sore, because you're tight. And I need to move this around so I can actually roll on this thing without losing my battery pack again. Okay. So taking the foam roller, glutes on the floor, and basically, ooh, am I going to slide? I'm just going to start by just rolling out of my lower back. And that feels really good. Feels really good. Turn a little bit, yeah, turn a little bit. The side there. I'm definitely tight along the side of my lower back. Take arms, cross them over. And just roll back and forth. If you find a spot that's really tight, again, just hold it. Try to relax. Roll some more. And that is probably, for me, I find that to be one of the most effective lower back fascia stretches to do. I find the balls a little bit too much. Don't like those. The peanut does work, but I do like this one. It just gives me a lot more to work with, okay? So that's the lower back. The next one I'm going to show you is for chest, and I'm going to have to take you over to the wall to show you how to do that one. So I brought you over to the wall because you do need a wall or some sort of flat surface to do this last stretch. Now there's lots of other stretches that you can do to stretch fascia along your chest. And again, we have tons of videos that you can check out. I really like this one, so that's why we're at the wall. Again, I'm using the tennis ball just because I think that's what most of you will have one for sure. So what you need to do is between the wall and your body, put the tennis ball, and then you need to stand and kind of lean into that. So we really need to use, I'm all tongue-tied today, gosh. We need to use our body weight as much as possible just to have that pressure, and just, again, rolling along that pec area. Oh, see right there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring my feet out a little bit and allow myself to lean into the ball so that releases. I think I was holding my breath. Okay, now roll. And the same thing, as you change your arm position, it's going to just allow you to hit other layers of muscle a little more specifically. If you have to move it around, that's fine. Drop. Okay, now switch to the other side. Again, you want to spend a good minute doing these stretches per muscle group or the groups that you're choosing to stretch, and as many times, 3 times, 5 times. Again, it depends what are you doing that day, what's your goal. So here I'm going to switch to the other side again and roll that out. Oof. Ow! There's a knot. Where was that again? Okay. So same thing, I found a knot or a tight spot, and I'm just going to let my body weight rest against the ball. Roll some more. Whoops. Okay. Clearly I've been neglecting this side, or perhaps I need to. One point I should point out, it's not uncommon to be tighter on one side, have more knots, tension, soreness on one side. It's not, a lot of things can contribute to that. Muscle imbalances, improper lifting. So I'm thinking myself, I know I do have some back issues that definitely contribute to more tightness on one side of my body than the other, better flexibility on one side of my body than the other. But doing that stretch made me think of the one I did upper body. And I actually want to go back and address a couple of those lists, because I'm thinking that maybe I need to fix my form. Maybe I got sloppy, maybe I got lazy, maybe I'm lifting too heavy. But that's also something that I'm going to look at, because it might be contributing to just how sore and tight I am on that one side. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you can see the importance of doing some of these stretching techniques to help relieve sore tight muscles, but more importantly, the reason why that happens is because we're focusing on stretching fascia and not so much focusing on big muscle groups, but really stretching that spider web that I talked about to help relieve the soreness and the tightness that does build up over time. Make sure you check out that pinned comment below for that free report. I really want to send that to you. Enter your email. You're going to have that right away to find out more about why stretching doesn't make you flexible, and just to give you a lot more information on how to stretch and move your body more effectively to avoid things like injuries, strains, and unnecessary pain that you might be living with. I'm Coach Tonya with Critical Bench. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to click that notification bell and the subscription button so you never miss any of our great video content. Be healthy, stay well, and I'll see you soon.